Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, today we are going to be starting a motor build. Building a motor, putting pistons in, head build, cinching everything on, getting the oil pan on, well, partially on. Basically assembling the long block. So I was working on it last night. I didn't film anything. I've been trying to get my measurements down and figuring out how to measure everything. Also, I was messing around with the head. I got a couple valve springs on right now, but my tool broke. So I had to order another one. It should be here today. I also got the girdle all torqued down with the fasteners and everything, and I've been going through each bore, or I can't think where the mains go. So I've been getting my measurements down. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna remeasure them again. This stuff is crazy to measure and stuff like that. It's just the slightest movement can throw you off so far off of what you're looking for, what you're trying to get. I think OEM, these are like 15 or 16 thou. I'm going in the 20 to 25 thou range. That's where I want to be. So I'm gonna be doing all of that today. I have to go grab another torque wrench because all I have is a really big, long half-inch one, and it's great. But the smaller one will be good for like when I start putting accessories on and stuff like that. So I'm not sitting here with this big, long-ass half-inch wrench. I'm probably not going to film the measurements. It's just too time consuming, and it's a lot of back and forth for me because if my measurements aren't exact, I've seen so many people build these motors and their measurements, they do it once, perfect. Mine, I have to keep going back and forth measuring because I don't know why the hell my measurements are different from someone else's that has the same setup. So I won't bore you. There's plenty of other videos on how to measure stuff. I'm not gonna go into detail on that. Once I start getting better at building motors, maybe I'll do like a full-on build like that. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the measurements, and then I'll come back and tell you guys what I got. Okay, so here's my professional setup I have over here. So I just ran a test run to see if this works. I tried doing it by hand, like pushing on it. You're supposed to take this and you push down. I think that's great for stock springs because you can compress them with weight. These are aftermarket, so they're a lot stiffer. Basically, I just took two rags and you put it up underneath, so when you're hammering down, the valve doesn't come out because it will push down a little bit. That's all that's to it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and seat the other 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we'll go from there. So have fun with this time lapse. Back. Alright, this one fought me a little bit, but you guys get the idea. Pretty much that's just how you do it. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse and repeat on the other side. I'm not gonna bore you guys with it, and then we'll come back. We'll get the lifters in. I'll show you how to bleed the lifters. I'm only gonna bleed one, all the others are bled. Then we'll get the rockers on, and I'll probably just sit the cams in here and then sit the valve cover over top of it and call it a day with that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these in real quick. Okay, so I got the head all assembled. I'll show you guys in a second. I'm gonna show you how to bleed lifters. Very, very simple. So this is a 1.5 mil. Basically, you're just gonna shove it into the top here, right there. Make sure it seats all the way down, and then you're just gonna push it. That's all you're gonna do. Push it, and then keep it upside down. Then you should be able to push it down by hand, just like that. Before you bleed them, it should have enough pressure where when you squeeze down, it doesn't compress like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop these into the head. Very easy. They just drop right in. Right, just like that, we have a I would say a 80% done head. Yeah, so this one I can't get on. I end up losing one of the keepers. Hammering it was locked down. I pulled it up, but one of the keepers must have not, well, both of them must not have been fully seated, and it shot up. One just fell right back down here. The other one, well, that's probably floating around the moon somewhere. So unfortunately, this is where I have to stop. I'll probably just put the cam caps on, put it back in the bag, and leave it for another day. But I'm gonna finish up measurements. Again, I'm gonna do the 3 and 4 main clearance in once more and see where I can stand with what it is. If I can get, if I can measure in the proper spots and get the clearance in down. That way we're not a thou off, because that is not good. Okay, so at this point, I have all my measurements for everything. We should be good to go. Now, are they 100% accurate? Probably not, since this is my first time doing this, but you know what? I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I'm banking on this motor not lasting, we'll say that. But again, you know what? It's an expensive learning experience for me, but I'd rather learn it and have to do it again rather than just saying, here, you build it, I don't want to touch it, type of thing. So we can go ahead and start assembling a motor now. I did order keepers, so that should be in hopefully soon, and we can get the head slapped on as well. But for now, we should be. Oh, I don't have my spring compressor either. Fuck, I have to wait for my spring compressor, so this video is going to be a little bit delayed. I should be able to drop the crank in. I could drop that in right now. I think my measurements are pretty close. Fuck it, you know, at this point, let's just roll the dice and see what happens. So now we can start assembling. I'm gonna assemble the pistons and the rods first. I have all of my lube and everything that I need. I did forget is towels. I cannot believe I forgot towels, because I went to the store specifically for more brake clean, and I kept telling myself towels, towels, towels. Did not get any towels. I'm not gonna clean the no, I can clean the crank. I'm just gonna spray it, hose it down with brake cleaner, and then blow it off with compressed air, because I did get a compressor. So we're gonna fire up the compressor. There's still some air in it, and we're gonna start cleaning everything, cleaning the block. Hopefully, oh God, for the love of God, please, may let it be a Christmas miracle. Everything spins freely. Here we go. All right, pistons, rods, everything's done. Two of the circlips did fly up. One hit me square in the forehead, and then flew all the way on the other side of the car. But the good thing is that was actually a blessing, because I found the other valve locker. I haven't set the actual gaps where the rings actually go yet. I'm gonna do that in a little bit. I just want to get the rings on. Now we can go ahead and clean this bad boy up. So I'm gonna go ahead, flip it over, and then pull all the bearings off of here, off the mains and everything, clean everything up, hose it, not really hose it, but brake clean it up, blow it off with some compressed air, and then hopefully that'll clean out all like the little valleys and grooves and nooks and crannies and everything else. By the way, when you seat these thrust washers, make sure the grooves are facing outward. So they're both going to be facing outward this way. We're gonna go ahead and torque this down. It needs to get torqued down to 60 foot-pounds. You're gonna do this in 3 sequences. You're gonna do first time, you're gonna go all the way around, 20 pounds, then 40 pounds, then 60 pounds. All right, that's it. There you go, spins nice and freely.
A few moments later.
So I tried numerous times. Unfortunately, this thing's a piece of shit. Cheap, garbage, don't get it. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Yeah, it's nothing I can do, guys. Sorry, we're gonna have to extend this to another day.
The next day.
So I decided I didn't feel like waiting a week for a new piston ring compressor. So I went out and bought another cheap one. And I figured, you know what, I didn't learn my lesson the first time. Let's see if I learn my lesson the second time. Anywho, we are going to try round 2 again. This one is a little less ovally. I don't know. A little bit of ATF. There we go. That looks good. Things I do like to do is double check again. Because when you tighten it down, remember, it's like a seesaw. So if you torque with one side down, it can come down, and you torque the other, it may come down slightly further, and this one will be not torqued to spec. So always double check your torque after you're done. Good. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the other 2 pistons and rods, and I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so at this point I got everything kind of squared away. The crank spins freely, very freely, so that's a huge plus. Go ahead and get the gasket on, clean the surface, get the gasket on, get the L19s on, and then we will start bolting or torquing this down, and yeah, we should be rocking and rolling with that. So I never hit record, but as you can see, I already got to start getting the head studs in. The plan now is to put these on. They come in these little scar wraps over here. I'll show you off of one what I'm going to do. I'll do on the very last one, I'll show you how I handle these. I mean, you don't have to be that meticulous, but yeah, try to keep them as clean as possible. Okay, so let me show you guys how I actually do this. Unwrap it, have its little Dutchie. That's what it looks like, and the top part of it that goes facing up, obviously, that's what I grab, and I grab by the threads. I don't touch any of the neck here or the shoulder, whatever you want to call it. Put a little bit of assembly lube on there, and still holding both threads on both sides. I just run just like that. And that's really all that's to it. I just don't touch the actual shoulder area. That's one in. Now with these, again, hand tight. I screwed them in by hand. Just go like this. Just to bottom them out. Done. That guy's done. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This is specific, so when you put it down, it may go on and you're like, cool, it's good to go. Problem is blocked, 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 partially blocked, blocked, blocked. All that stuff is blocked. You cannot block that stuff. So you gotta take the whole head gasket, flip it so everything is exposed. So now it's time to assemble it or put the head on. Alright, so it's now time to actually torque everything down. There is a sequence which I'll put the picture of it up on the screen here, and basically you're gonna follow that sequence. So I'm torquing to 100 foot-pounds. ARP recommends 80. I'm going to 100 because this is gonna be a high boost car. So I'm gonna go 30, 60, and then 100 will be the final torque spec. Final torque. Done. All right, so we are good to go here with all the torque specs. Hopefully that suffices. Where's my assembly lube? Hello?
Hey, finance is trying to call you, man.
Yes, I'll be able to do that first thing in the morning tomorrow.
Okay, yes, sir. We can check your leave tomorrow again, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so now comes the hardest part of any build. And some of you are already gonna be shaking your head yes, but it is putting everything back together and figuring out what bolt goes to where. Now, if I was smart, I would have been pulling everything off and taping everything together and labeling it. But I didn't, so you know what I'm left with? A box full of random hardware. Yay me. So now I get the honor and privilege to kind of go through this and figure out what goes to what. Okay, so this shit's all kind of just mocked up. This is just slid on, this is slightly slid on, this is still loose. I only have 2 bolts holding it on. This one only has, I think, 1 bolt holding it on. I went ahead and tightened up these. So I have a lot more shit I have to take care of on the Evo, on the truck, on the Jeep. I can't be fiddling and diddling around and dicking around with this front case and trying to figure out what bolts go to where. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. Don't know how long or intense it's going to be, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna fully admit it. This shit is so frustrating right now, as you can tell in my voice. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know. Whatever. Later.
I swear to God, man, I'ma make it soon. Silence all the haters as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to